The story continues right now here in the opening round of the GB3 Championship in 2025. After a race one, we are left with so many question marks, but let's get some answers. Let's get a better understanding of how this season will go, and two people who are going to provide us with that before race two is Piers Pryor, and alongside we have Jonas as well.
So highlights then from the opening round of the 2025 season of the GB3 Championship. Deegan Fairclough already missing from the grid and starting this race from the pit lane. It was a good start though from Freddie Slater from pole position to lead down into the first corner. It was a big move though from Noah Lyle from third position to make his move straight around the outside and into second position. He was attacking for the race lead though, going down to the Maggots, Beckers and Chapel, but Freddie Slater was able to hold firm and hold on to the race lead. Abby Pulling with a big moment going through the opening S's section, would drop back into fifth position after qualifying in fourth. Plenty of moves through the middle of the field, with Alazari being pushed out wide by Dion Gowda as they would work their way through. Kanato Lee trying to find his way through, and the Hill Speed car would have a little bit of contact with Gowda and lose a little bit of the front nose cone. As we were working our way through the race, it was Deegan Fairclough making some moves throughout the field. After starting from the pit lane, he was up to 17th position with this move on Jack Sherwood. Was trying to attack the rear end of Hugo Schwarzer, but was struggling to get too close to the rear end of that VRD racing car. It was a dominant performance though for Freddie Slater, who was running away at the front of the field. A comfortable drive from pole position to win the opening race of the season by 7 seconds. It was an incredible performance from the Hill Speed driver, and he was very comfortable indeed. It was Freddie Slater ahead of Noah Lyle, and then Gianmarco Prado in third.
Yeah, an exceptionally dominant performance there from Freddie Slater. We saw some great racing as well, no huge incidents in that race. And as you say, starting on pole position again, I mean, if he gets into that first corner, we could see a repeat.
I think it's likely we could see a repeat, but I'm quite enjoying the fact that other than Freddie at the front of the field, it's actually very close. We saw a good battle between Noah Lyle and all three of the Rodin cars, inside the top five, so they're actually one of the strongest teams if you ignore the driver out front. But Noah Lyle for JHR as well. We've seen JHR up there the last couple of years, back again. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season as it plays out.
Yeah, Noah Lyle, of course, starting second again today. So it's going to be fantastic to see what happens there. We'll be over to the assembly area very, very soon. But, of course, we have returning drivers. Freddie Slater, technically a returning driver. Loads of others that we've seen over the last couple of years or so. And loads of new drivers as well. And I believe you caught up with the Spanish driver, Lucas Flucher.
Lucas, your first race in the GB3 Championship. Tell us about it. How was it from your perspective?
Yeah, obviously it's quite nice to race at Silverstone, such a legendary track. And in a new car, which is also nice. I mean, the race wasn't as exciting as I hoped, but still was very fun. And yeah, looking forward to tomorrow's races, and let's see what we can do.
The first race, you know, was your pace where you expected it to be? Were you hoping to be higher?
I mean, I expected to be a bit higher. Obviously, qualifying we didn't get the results we wanted. We had a red flag for the quali 2, but quali 1 didn't, like, I didn't give what we didn't show what we could have had. But yeah, I think we could have been higher, and I'll fight for that tomorrow.
Of course, it's a new car, but you're a new driver to the championship and with a new team to GB3 with Argenti, with Prema. How are you guys gelling and working together so far this season?
Yeah, everything's new for me, the car, the tires, the team, but the team has been very helpful since the very start. And together, me with the team, with Matt, Nick, Liam, we've all been working together to make the cars as suitable for me as possible, and I think they're achieving that, but we still have a bit to go.
What do you reckon you can achieve from the rest of the weekend?
I'll do my very best. Hopefully we can, tomorrow I start around 15th, I think, so hopefully some top 10 finishes, and it would be nice to finish the weekend off with some points.
Luca, thank you very much. We'll catch up with you later on.
Thank you.
Great to see Lucas, and obviously he'll be getting more and more used to this GB3 car, as all the drivers will be, the brand new car for 2025. We'll take a look at that in more detail in a second. But one of the returning drivers that we've seen before in the GB4 Championship is Jack Sherwood, and he's with Excel Motorsports, one of the new teams on the grid.
Jack, welcome back to the paddock. Bit of a step up though from when we last saw you a few years ago in GB4.
Yeah, for sure. It's a bit of a different car now, a bit quicker, but enjoying the challenge for sure. Yeah. I think it's nice to be back in this paddock. You know, I know a lot of people, a lot of familiar faces. So to be back here is definitely cool, and hopefully go as well as we went in GB4.
Absolutely, but let's talk about on circuit now. You've joined the championship with the new car, you're with the new team JBMotorsports. Talk to us about how you've been finding it so far.
Yeah, I think, you know, I know a lot of the team from XL, so it was kind of a no-brainer going there for me over the off-season. Struggled a bit so far, getting up to speed. I think, you know, there's a lot of work for me to do. The car's been pretty decent throughout testing, you know, in the hands of Pat and Dion at times. So, you know, it's just up to me now to extract it. And I think we're getting there slowly but surely. So, yeah, keeping my head down and focusing on getting the best results.
Talk to us a little bit in more detail, if you can, about what you've been working on. So a lot of people at home never driven a GB3 car.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's the first category I've driven with a lot of aero. And, you know, with that comes a lot of challenges. There's a lot of stuff you can do to manipulate your driving to suit an aero car, and you know, it's just kind of dialing into that and understanding ultimately the quicker you go and the smoother you are, the more grip you'll get, which is sometimes a bit backwards for a lot of people. So yeah, I think just getting used to the aero at the moment is the biggest thing for me, and I think once we get on top of that, we'll be right at the front.
We've had our first day of racing here in the GB3 Championship at Silverstone. How have you found the racing so far as well?
Yeah, it was good. It was interesting. The first few laps were definitely a bit spicy, as always. And then, yeah, everyone settled down into a bit of a rhythm, and it was a bit more of a strategic race. You know, there was a bit of tired deg, so managing that became a bit of a factor. And you know, if you got that right, you're able to move up a couple positions. So yeah, I think it's a lot more kind of in a way a lot more like a Formula 3 race, an FIA Formula 3 race in a way. You know, you got to manage tyre a bit more and be a bit smarter about it, which I think is good. You know, considering this is the step to that or FT. So yeah.
Good development for the future. Jack, thanks for catching up with us. We'll keep an eye on your progress throughout the year.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
One of the returning drivers to the GB3 Championship, Jack Sherwood. He tested last year, racing full-time this year with JBMotorsports. Good to see Jack on the grid. He'll be starting 18th in this upcoming race, and Reza Seawuthan will be starting just ahead of him in 17th, another new driver on the grid, and Piers caught up with him to see how he's getting on with the brand new GB3 car.
Probably been a lot to get used to moving up from F4.
Yeah, it's a very different car, a very different style of driving and racing, to be fair, especially with the new DRS. Yeah, I'm loving it. It's more fun to drive, and the racing's a bit better as well, so I'm enjoying it.
It's your first experience of DRS, I'm sure, as well. How did you find that on circuit?
It's great when you're against just one person, but when there's 3 or 4 of you, you just sort of stay behind each other. There's not much you can do, and even the game when you're behind one person isn't huge, but it can make a difference.
And also, you're new to the championship, but so is your team, and it's a new car. How has it been gelling with the team and getting used to everything behind the scenes?
Yeah, there's a lot of people from everywhere in our team. There's people from abroad, people who've been in the UK for ages, but people who've been in different teams, and now everyone's sort of come together. So I think we're all getting along, everyone's working together, everyone's working hard, and yeah, it's going well.
Well, what do you expect to get from the rest of the weekend, and what are your hopes for the rest of the year?
I think from this weekend, we just got to take what we can. Qualifying didn't go to plan, we were quite far off. It just wasn't a great quality session from me on my behalf. But yeah, towards the end of this weekend, just hope to get into the points, just make as many places as we can, learn as much as we can, because we might not have this opportunity later on in the season. We might be further ahead. So yeah, for this weekend, we just need to focus on what we can, and throughout the rest of the championship, just keep moving forward and try and win.
Reza, thank you very much for catching up with us. We'll see how you get on.
No worries, thank you very much.
Looking forward to seeing what Reza can do from 17th in this race. Can you do much from 17th down there? It's a little bit far back, but I guess these drivers are all getting used to this new car, and there's a lot of variables.
There's a lot of variables. I think we're going to see the order shuffle throughout the season in terms of drivers and the teams, as different teams and drivers get used to this new car and exploit the most out of it. I expect to see the likes of Argenti with Prema and Reza specifically move up the field, either in this race or at least in the next round. So we know he's got good pedigree from his previous racing campaigns.
Well, wherever you're watching this, of course, you can share it with your friends. You can also leave comments on there as well. Feel free to drop questions in there. I'm sure Piers and Lewis will answer any questions that you drop in there on commentary. We've already had a question in actually from Yasmin. Wanted to know about the tyres on these new GB3 cars. Are they the same as the last year's GB3 car? And they're not, are they?
No, they're 2 inches wider, both front and rear, and the rear tyres especially look pretty chunky this year. Of course, we've got 35% more downforce, 30 more horsepower, a bit more weight, so therefore we need more mechanical grip as well. And it's a new tyre produced by Pirelli, so therefore they need to get used to it. and make sure that they're getting the most out of it. And that's been a lot of the chat ahead of this first race weekend, is getting the most out of the tyre, both in qualifying and throughout the races.
And of course, huge safety improvements as well. Let's take a look at the brand new GB3 car.
The GB3 Championship introduces a new car to the series for 2025, the Tata's MSV GB3025. The new machine is a serious upgrade in the previous generation, with more downforce, greater power and innovations not previously seen at this level of motorsport. Key safety upgrades are also included, like the titanium halo, new front and rear crash structures, revised anti-intrusion panels and improved head and leg protection, meaning the car meets the latest FIA standards. Equipped with an F1-inspired aerodynamics package, adding 35% more downforce at the same drag level compared to the outgoing car, with new bespoke front and rear wing assemblies, powerful underbody aerodynamics and CFD-optimised aero surfaces. The most notable addition is the inclusion of the rear wing drag reduction system for the first time in GB3. The naturally aspirated 2-litre 4-cylinder mount-tune engine has received a 30 horsepower boost up to 280 horsepower, while additional grip is produced by the Pirelli tyres, which are now 2 inches wider all round. And that's the new car for GB3 in 2025.
A beautiful car, nice bit of kit.
Lovely.
Some of the things I've seen online have been very positive about this car. People saying it looks sexy. I've seen the word attractive as well. Anything you'd like to add?
Fast.
Fast, okay. Could tell you're a racing driver. Anyway, look, we've got a big fanfare of the drivers being announced this year. We have a record equaling grid. We also have 2 drivers that you may have seen last year in F1 Academy. We've got the reigning champion, Abby Pulling, who did very well yesterday, came 5th for Rodin. We also have Bianca Bustamante, who is racing with Elite Motorsports. Had a bit of trouble yesterday. You saw her car being repaired and it didn't look good and she didn't actually make the grid.
No, unfortunately yesterday, due to, I think it was a crash right at the end of qualifying, and with these cars being new and the team still having to get used to it and making sure everything's right before they go out on circuit, she didn't get out, but looks like she's back again today, which is great to see.
Absolutely is. And Piers caught up with Bianca ahead of yesterday when she thought she'd be racing in the first race, but unfortunately that didn't come to fruition, but she will be racing in the next few minutes.
Bianca, firstly, great to have you in the championship. How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, first race of the season approaching us quite literally in a few hours. So by the time you're watching this, it might already be the first race. It's been a lot of build-up coming into this round, a lot of testing, and obviously the excitement of driving a brand new car, the new GB3 MSV car this season. Has been a roller coaster journey trying to figure out the car, learn it. The new aerodynamics, obviously the new components of DRS, more ground effect, and the new wing, and basically the whole new car. It's been a thrilling experience.
Of course, you've got some single-seater experience. A lot of people have seen you in things like F1 Academy, but this is a big step up, I'm sure.
It's huge. It's a lot quicker. I can't put a number to it, but it has been an intense journey, just trying to make sure that physically I am fit driving the car, as it is very physical. It's a lot quicker. We're probably 20 miles per hour quicker down the straights compared to the F1 Academy car, and obviously a lot more downforce. That means a lot more G-force going through the corners, which makes it, for someone of my stature, very physical.
Let's touch on that a little bit, because I know you've been working a lot behind the scenes to get yourself physically ready.
That means that you have the ability to corner a lot quicker, a lot more speed, a lot more minimum. So that also means that you'd have to withstand a lot more lateral G, acceleration, deceleration, and obviously change of directions, all that stuff. So to be able to maximize the car, you'd have to be physically fit for it, which hasn't been easy. I've had to gain close to 7 kgs of muscle over winter just to make sure I can, do a race run, because it is very physical, especially at a track like Silverstone where it's quite a high downforce circuit. Like going through Copse is flat for us, Maggots and Beckett's, it's flat until you get to like Chapel, and then you have to brake a little bit, so that's like a lot quicker. I mean, like I was talking to some of my friends racing in the British GT Championship. The GT3 cars are doing a lap time of like 1:55, 56, and I think qualifying we hit like 1:52, so we're like 3 seconds quicker or something. So yeah, a lot more G-force everywhere.
I can see the smile on your face. Clearly you're enjoying driving the car. Very quickly, of course, very early stages. We haven't even done a race yet. You've joined Elite Motorsport this year and you're joining the championship as a whole. What are your hopes for the season?
I mean, for me, it's my first year driving these cars. It's my first year stepping up as well. outside of F1 Academy, as a graduate of McLaren, obviously, and F1 Academy. Competed again with the mixed grid with the boys and the girls. So I think that'll be very different. I'm looking forward to a challenge, of course, and I think for me it's just to learn, to maximize. You know, the goal for me is to do multiple years in this category, to keep growing. The progression is never linear, but it has been a journey, and I'm very grateful to even have this opportunity to still be racing. Is for me a win already. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful for that.
Amazing, Bianca. Thank you very much for chatting to us, and we'll see how you get on this weekend.
Thank you so much.
After all that preparation and all that testing and all the announcements and all the physical strength work actually Bianca's been doing, it would be really heartbreaking to miss the first race, wouldn't it? Let's just walk and talk and see if we can get to Bianca's car here. Number 16, we can just see it on the right hand side here. It's been pieced together and it's ready to go, so that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. The car looks turned out very well. I like the new Elite livery, and they've worked hard to get it working overnight, and clearly she's ready to go. It'll be interesting to see how she gets on. Of course, a big step up this year for her. We heard from the interview we just had, both physically and of course mentally as well, with the cars dealing with the extra speed. But she's got a lot of followers online who I'm sure are watching at home now. But great to see her on the grid.
Yeah, she's got over 1 million followers, which is over 1 million followers more than me and you put together, I think.
Yes,
if you look at it that way. We've also got, if we can come down and see if we can go this far, we also have Deegan Fairclough, and we can see here the number 7 car starting at the back. Can you just explain why he's starting at the back, Piers?
Yeah, unfortunately overnight there's been a technical directive that they've been demoted, unfortunately, to the back of the grid to allow him to race. I think there was a change of components of such that meant that he wasn't able to take his original grid slot. He didn't qualify that high up the field anyway, not as high as some were expecting, but we'll be looking forward to seeing Deegan make his way through the field, as he actually made some great moves in yesterday's race as well.
Yeah, obviously a driver that's hugely fancied, did incredibly well last year in the championship he was racing in, breaking all kinds of records, winning loads of races and storming that championship, so it's going to be really sort of frustrating for him to be down at the back, but I'm looking forward to seeing how many places he can make up. We are expecting him to make up some places, certainly knowing what he can do. Let's move our way back then. We've got Divi Nandan here, who we spoke to after the race yesterday, obviously just having last minute conversation there with his race engineer. It's one of those things, isn't it? The last few minutes, drivers always like different things, don't they? Some like to be left alone and some like to have conversation.
He was actually just resetting his mirror as well. It looked like they're just doing the mirror adjustments. These mirrors on GB3 cars are also in all single seaters, not particularly big, and you have to adjust them manually. There's no electronic mirror adjustments, but getting them at the right angle is crucial to know where the cars are around you.
Okay, well let's just move slightly forward here. We're going to take a look at the Silverstone track in just a second. I really like this car. I mean, this doesn't look like the rest of the team, does it?
No, Stefan Bosangiev, he joined at the GB4 Championship last time out at Donington Park, made the step up to GB3 this weekend with Fortec. He's got a very distinctive livery, Fortec usually with the white and red, but this weekend with Stefan, he's got his own sponsors liveries. Yes, Bulgarian inspired livery. It was great to see. He's not quite got to grips with the GB3 cars, stepping up from GB4 yet, but I'm sure we'll see him move up because he's had a lot of success in sports car racing and Lamborghinis.
Absolutely. Let's take a look then at Silverstone as we remind ourselves of where we're racing today.
And so it's the home of British motorsport then that opens the GB3 Championship for 2025. The iconic circuit with iconic corners as well. Maggots, Beckers and Chapel, of course, Copse, the run into Stowe. You've got the Abbey Village Loop section as well, and then round towards Brooklands. Of course, new for 2025 is those 2 DRS activation points, one on the Hanger Straight and one on the Wellington Straight as well. Round Luffield and out through Woodcote onto the start-finish straight, which of course is on the national side. 18 turns around here, of which plenty are great for overtaking. Most notably that Village Loop section. Those TDRS zones though, they're going to be very, very big when it comes to overtaking around this 3.6 mile, 5.8 kilometre circuit to open the season.
Let's ride on board the brand new car for 2025, the MSV GB3 025 car with XL Motorsports Dion Gouda. 35% more downforce than we had last year allows us to go easily flat through Copse Corner. Towards Maggots and Beckett's now, once again, completely thrashed through Maggots, and just a slight lift through Beckett's corner, opening up the entry of Chapel. Down one more gear, use all the curb at the apex, and then the curb on the exit. We head into our first DRS zone, new for 2025 as well. DRS will be wide open in qualifying, and if you're within a second of the car ahead in the races, to improve overtaking down towards Stowe. All of the road on the left-hand side, off camber through the apex. Easy to run wide on the exit here. Dion does just about stay within track limits. We go down to Vale now, braking hard. 3 gears down, second gear through the apex. Keep it left to open up the first apex of Club, trying to keep it flat out if possible. We now head through onto the Hamilton Straight, flat out through here past the hotel and the wing. The next corner is Abbey, a bit of curb on the left to open up the entry, and we grab 6th gear at the apex, completely flat out once again as we bring ourselves to the left for the entry of Village. Braking and turning, an overtaking opportunity in the race, and tricky to get right in qualifying. Back to the right hand side for the loop, using all of the extra grip we've got from the wider Pirelli tyres to get the power down on the exit here. Flat out once again through Aintree onto the second DRS zone here at Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Another overtaking opportunity going in towards Brooklands. All the curb on the right hand side to open up the entry of Brooklands. Braking and turning, the steering gets very heavy here. That's when the driver's training of the pre-season comes into play. The last corner of Luffield, trying to make it back for the second apex. Doesn't quite do it on this lap, but that won't hurt his lap time. And we head through Woodcote for a lap of the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit in the new, faster and improved GB3 car.
So that's Silverstone. We're now looking at the car of Kanato Lee, the Japanese driver who we saw last year at Spa. We can see one of his mechanics there just adjusting the front wing, and actually there was a question that came in earlier from Izzy who wanted to know, like, how adjustable are the front wings on these cars?
So there's the main plane of the front wing that goes all the way across the front. That can be adjusted in terms of height, but generally the teams run it as low as possible because that's most aerodynamically efficient. But then also the flaps on either side of the front wing, where you can see the bolts going through there, they can be adjusted up and down between races, not by the drivers during the race. Basically, the higher up the flap goes, the more front downforce, but the more drag. And you'll be balancing that front wing angle with the rear wing angle as well, because if you have too much front and not enough rear, you'll have oversteer where the rear is sliding around, and the opposite's true. But also that is in conjunction with the setup of the whole car, so ride height can also affect the balance of the car. There's lots of things on these GB3 cars the teams are working with the drivers to optimise.
And obviously when you look at Formula One, they've got incredible amounts of dials there. They can change things during the race. What is adjustable during the race? Is there anything that they can make changes to?
Just brake bias, actually. Driving and brake bias. And brake bias is the percentage of braking that goes to the front wheels compared to the rear wheels. Generally in cars like this, single seats, you run about 56-57% frontward bias, because when you brake, the weight goes on the front wheels, so you want to use that extra grip. But the drivers can dial that in by about 1/4 to 0.5% with a dial on their steering wheel or on their cockpit, which can adjust it forward and backwards. So if your car's understeering into a corner, you can wind it back to get a bit more rotation, and the opposite is true. If you're understeering into a corner, if you're oversteering into a corner, you can wind it forward. So just dial the balance in, and it's also a tool to look after the tyres as well.
Excellent stuff. Well, obviously Kanato Lee's teammate at Hillspeed, Freddie Slater, starts at the front of the grid. Obviously sharing data from Freddie Slater. Kanato Lee's in a great place with Freddie putting in some amazing lap times. Let's spin round then. He starts 13th, by the way, and we can see the beautiful pink car. I mean, very recognisable with the BWT sponsorship that we've seen across the Alpine cars in Formula One over the last few years. Keanu Al-Azari. I mean, another driver that's brand new to this championship, and I mean, I don't know, is it a good thing to have a car that's so striking out there? Because obviously if you make a mistake, it's very visible.
Yeah, but it's always good to get attention, of course. These young drivers are trying to get the attention of sponsors like BWT, but also Formula One teams. We've seen, Alpine have been sponsored by BWT in the past, and maybe we'll see, who knows, Keanu part of that programme as he moves up the grid. But yeah, great to have such cool liveries on the grid. It's also easier for us in the commentary box because it separates him from his teammates at High Tech TGR.
Going to be honest, Piers, we're standing behind Dion Gauda's car here, and I cannot hear a word you said there, but I'm sure it was brilliant insight. We're just making our way up now. We've got Patrick Herzenreuter here, who we've seen do amazing things, an incredibly consistent performer towards the end of last season, wasn't he? He was putting in some great results, and we're expecting some big things of the Australian this year.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely took a step forward second half of last year. Lots of top tens. Only one podium last year, 12th in the standings, but he had a really good winter racing out in the Castrol Toyota Racing Formula Regional Oceania Championship, CT Frop. Came, I think it was 4th or 3rd in that championship. It was 4th in that championship. So a good pre-season preparation with the new team of Excel. He's looked pretty quick in testing as well, so keep an eye on him for this year.
Excellent stuff, boys. You can see the cars are going out behind us. So for the second time this weekend in the GB3 Championship, let's go racing.
Well, here we are then again. It is time for race 2 of the weekend. We start our season, we start our journey here at Silverstone. We began yesterday, and what an incredible venue it was to go motor racing. A race dominated by Slater. Can he do so once again? There is action absolutely everywhere around this circuit. You of course start down the old start-finish straight. We go to Stowe, Maggots, Beckett's, all of these iconic corners, onto a DRS zone down the hanger straight. Then comes Stowe corner, into Wales we go, through Club, onto the Hamilton straight, and then through the opening couple of corners, through the loop, back on the Wellington straight, and then we go through Brooklands, through Luffield, Woodcut, and then we are down the old start finish straight. 18 turns in total for the drivers to navigate around this circuit. And this is going to be exciting stuff then, as we get ready to go racing for the second time across 3.6 miles that this Silverstone circuit runs up to. The cars are on the grid, they are all preparing, they're all getting ready for their formation lap to begin. We once again find ourselves with Freddie Slater, who starts at the front of the field, and it will be interesting to see how he is going to get on, the British driver chasing another victory. He's not, while he's in his first full season, he doesn't yet find himself he doesn't find himself fully completely new to the championship due to the rounds that he did last year. So that is very important to remember as the drivers set off for their formation lap. Just a little update, by the way, the timings everywhere, they all start to come on once they basically start the race, like properly get off the line. So there won't be anything until then. We're going to run you through the grid, so I'm going to take you back to the image of our grid. It's Freddie Slater alongside Alex Ninovich, who will go from the front row for Rodin Motorsport. Noah Lyle is in third position, a brilliant move to take second place yesterday off the start. He got ahead of the man directly alongside him. Pradell goes from fourth. The American driver Nikita Johnson is in fifth alongside reigning F1 Academy champion Abby Pulling. Patrick Husdenroder is in 7th position. Kai Darianani for JHR Developments will go from 8th place. Directly behind is Dion Goda for XL Motorsport, the new team still getting up to grips, as we have Will McIntyre now for Elite Motorsport in P10. Part of the Alpine Academy is Keanu Al-Zahari, he's in 11th, and alongside him we do find ourselves with Yun Pao Sui. Then it's Canal Tali alongside Lucas Fluscher, that's 13th and 14th. And then we have Hugo Schwartz in 16th position. As we go to 17th and 18th on the grid, Reza Siwarathan is in 17th. Jack Sherwood is in 18th place. And then in 19th, you've got the Red Bull Junior of Enzo Tan Van Ekel. And then Mika Abrams is in P20. Bianca Bustamante couldn't start yesterday. As they explained to you in the pre-show, she is going to start today, and it will be from 21st alongside Stefan Bostanjiv. Flynn Jacques is in 23rd, D.V. Nandan is in 24th, and then at the back is Deegan Fairclough, the driver who is going to find himself, due to a little technical change, he has to go all the way and start from the back. That is why he is not in the 11th position where he qualified to start our second race of the weekend. So, all getting set, all getting ready. No Wes, by the way, for race 2. He wasn't supposed to be with us for this one due to it being very early for him stateside, so he will be back with us later on for race 3, which is still early, but he's still going to be with us as well, so that will be really, really fun to see. So just me, unfortunately for you, just me. I also want to say, hopefully Richie is having fun. He's actually trackside over at the GB3 race as well. He was actually messaging me earlier on, asking whether I'm trackside as well. Not today. Not today. I'm not trackside today, but we are getting all set and ready. Just making sure everything is working, and they're going to find themselves moving on then to the grid, and they're going to find themselves getting ready to go racing. It's going to be hopefully 12 more laps of pure action. Into position goes the number 12 of Alex Ninovich. He's the driver who starts alongside Freddie Slater. The marshals are in position, guiding our top two on where they have to start the contest. Deegan Fairclough is the final car in position. The reigning British F4 champion is going to try and move forward, and his race can only get better from there. Well, we're getting all set and ready to go racing as the high-tech at the back gets into position. This is going to be exciting stuff as we will take a look back to the front of the field. You've got Alex Ninovich alongside Freddie Slater. That is your front row going down to turn 1. Can Freddie Slater make it 2 out of 2? It is time to find out. Once those lights come on, they will immediately go out. Here we go. The lights are on. And for the second time at Silverstone, we are racing in the GB3 Championship. It's a great start off the line for Freddie Slater, as Noah Lyle will try and get ahead of Alex Ninovich as we go side by side through Cobb's Corner. Meanwhile, you have Keanu Al-Zahari trying to make a move further back as well in the BWT colours. We're very nearly 3 wide and trying to get in there. We have Nikita Johnson trying to get down the inside. A brilliant start from the high-tech man. Is he going to be able to get his way through? We've had 2 stallers on the grid. That is disappointment. Further back as they all try and navigate their way through. We've got a little bit of side by side. Further back, that's Dion Goda who was going side by side with Keanu Al-Zahari as we make our way through then at this stage, and they're still all battling. Keanu Al-Zahari trying to make a move further back. We also have Nikita Johnson trying to defend, and Nikita Johnson trying to defend up against Alex Ninovich, who has found himself losing out there as well, as they still are all battling here on this opening tour. That's a late lunge, 3 wide as Keanu Al-Zahari tries to make his way through, and the action from yesterday continuing today in this race. It's been a chaotic start. Just making sure we get all of the race control messages loaded up. We are very close. It is very close. The safety car is deployed as we're side by side down into turn number 1, Abbey Corner. Well, we're going to get to the safety car eventually here on the world feed pictures. There we go. The safety car is deployed. I would assume that is due to the stallers. And, well, they were held for quite long on the grid. We do get to the safety car. That is out on the opening tour of the race. It allows us to get all of our systems and everything working as well. Wow, that was quite chaotic. That was quite fun. But yes, we do get now to the safety car here in GB3. And it is Slater. Then Ninovich is in second position. I think that order is still going to update actually in a few moments' time. So it is Lyle who was able to put some pressure. And there you can see now updating on our leaderboard. Lyle is up to second place. Then it's Johnson in third. Ninovich is in fourth. So he dropped down all the way, as I mentioned. Pradell is in fifth. Kai Daryanani made up 2 positions. Al-Zahari also made up 2. As I mentioned, he was battling with Dion Goda. You had Lucas Flusha move up 2 as well. The big gainer at the start was Deegan Fairclough, along with Jacques as well. He moved up to 19th. So 19th and 20th for those 2 drivers. So quite a lot of gain. Quite a lot of gain for quite a few of the drivers, which is nice to see. But yeah, it's always annoying how you have to adjust everything. So we get it to the right tab. But there we go. That's now sorted. That's now fixed. And we find ourselves just right now navigating our way through. As we momentarily take it to battle screen so you guys get a little bit more information. But a really, really chaotic start to our contest. And it's hopefully going to be a really, really good contest as well. So I cannot wait to see who's going to come out on top. In this. You can see the order, of course, on the screen right now. So we're just completing the opening few laps. We have 25 minutes maximum on the clock. This is our second race of the weekend here at Silverstone. in the opening weekend of the category. It's exactly what Fairclough wanted, though. It's very unfortunate. The start that Deegan Fairclough has had to his GB3 campaign in 2025, really unfortunate. It's not what he wanted at all. And it's definitely not what they wanted. The two stallers on the grid, by the way, as you can see at the bottom of your timing board, Jack Sherwood and Will McIntyre. So those two were the drivers that stalled on the grid. But as I was mentioning with Deegan Fairclough, a very big disappointment. Coming in as the reigning F4 champion. Loads even saying that, well, him versus Slater is going to be quite a lot of fun. Well, Slater dominating at this stage, while Deegan Fairclough is having to overtake. But as we saw yesterday, the opportunity is there to overtake. Well, we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing conditions. Freddie Slater will lead the contest away. It's his first safety car restart that he's going to have to deal with. He didn't have any yesterday, they kept it clean. But due to McIntyre and Jack Sherwood stalling, it means that this is our first safety car of the season, which is led by Freddie Slater. Across the line we go with the British driver as we go racing once again around Silverstone. Lyle is in second position. It's going to be interesting to see who is going to pull out and try and make some moves. Further back, we've got an attack coming in, and that is going to be Divi Nandan trying to defend, and he was able to do so. The green flags fly once again. We're side by side, and that is going to be super tight as we go through Maggot and Beckett. Keanu Al-Zahari just keeping an eye on some of the battling going on ahead. You've got Abby Pulling, who is up against another contender at this stage. We'll try to identify who that is as we make our way down the Hanger Straight. And there's the defensive shade. That is going to be super tight. Abby Pulling really trying to defend. And Abby Pulling up against Patrick Hudson-Roder. Hudson-Roder trying to get down the inside. But that won't be a move that will be complete. We've got plenty of cars running out wide. Keanu Al-Zahari trying to defend in a big way as we go down to Whale Corner. There's a lock-up. And you've got the two hill speed drivers. You've got Yamakoshi. You've got Kanato Lee. Both in the mix, and they're side by side as we go on to the Hamilton Straight. So that was super tight between those two drivers. Back down to Abbey Corner we go then. Slater pulling away at the front of the field. Lyle is in second place. Oh, that's a big lock-up by Ninovich as he tries to get past Nikita Johnson. Johnson has that position. Ninovich was super late on the brakes. He wanted to take it away. He couldn't at this stage as we make our way through then on this restart. It's been the aggressive restart that we thought we would have. Trying to go on the attack. You've got Reza Tiwuruthan. We heard from him in the pre-show earlier on. And he is trying to fight a way through. And Reza Tiwuruthan is trying to attack Shaw's as well. Shawza. So that's the driver that he's trying to pass. We are going to make our way then onto the start-finish straight. You've got the two hill speeds still together of Lee and Yamakoshi. Nikita Johnson just finds himself just ahead at this stage as we throw it down to Copse Corner once again on lap number 4 this time. So Tan Ranikul has managed to move up to 16th position. He's not the only one. We also did see Deegan Fairclough gaining another position. So that is going to now be 18th for Deegan Fairclough. He is really going on the attack, isn't he? It's really nice to see. Back down the straight we go then. So lap number 4 out of 12. Abby Pulling having to check her mirrors. So she mentioned yesterday, straight after the race actually, in the post-show, about the fact that she was trying to save the tyres and hoping that it would work later on. So loads of tactics coming into play. Loads of half moves being attempted by the drivers. So not moves where they just completely send it. Moves that they just put their car down the inside, just hope their rival runs a little bit wide, or if you can scare someone off the road. Just every opportunity that could be there being taken by these drivers. Ninovich is not as close this time around to Nikita Johnson, meaning he has to sit in behind. And that is going to be a really interesting lap coming into play. Just making sure all of our systems are working up here in the commentary box. Further back, we've got a defensive shape. The slipstream really being broken at this stage, and that is going to be... Now, with the DRS is getting super, super tight. Further back, we've got some side-by-side. We'll wait for the camera to cut to it to see who that is. But you've got Pulling, who is trying to attack and also trying to defend. So Pulling has got Kai Daryanani. That is directly ahead. Back down the all-star finish straight we go. To see who's going to be making some moves. Can I be Pulling try fight away by? Or is it going to be... As Lucas Flusha gets past Dion Goda. That's a move further back. So that's what happened on the last lap. So that was a nice move that came in. Lyle versus Johnson's going on for second place. Well, we were in this situation yesterday where they're battling everywhere else, but not for the first position. Just due to the dominant Freddie Slater. Down the hanger straight we go. Tarn Vanikul is going to try to defend. Is that damage in the background there? I think that's just a lot of weaving going on for Divi Nandan. So there's no damage. Luckily all is okay for him. The driver that currently finds himself in 19th position as we roar onto the Hamilton Straight once again. It's close between 4 drivers, so we've got a 4-car train basically, I think we could say, in the battle for second place. You've of course got drivers in that little train who are closer to each other than others. You've got that going on. We've got a great train further back, including Keanu Al-Zahari, but the leader of that is going to be Kai Daryanani, as you can pretty much tell. And then you've got a great battle going on further back. Quite a few good battles, to be fair. So much going on in this race. And you've got Deegan Fairclough, who wants to get past Tarn Vanikul. Will he be able to do it? I think Keanu Al-Zahari is side by side, directly up ahead. He's trying to make a move there, and that is going to be super late in the brakes. Tarn Vanikul trying to get by. Does it open the door for Deegan Fairclough, the reigning F4 champion, going to try everything to try and make the move. It's a circuit that he's used to. It's a circuit which he's going to try and go on the attack. Here we go then. Down to the braking zone. Another lap completed for the field. Lap number 6 out of 12. We've got 13 minutes and... Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. 45 seconds on the clock to go. There we go. Got there in the end. Through Maggots and Beckett. Fairclough following very closely. He's going to try salvage anything he can out of this weekend. But my word, was he all over the curb. The Chapel curve, which usually gets ignored. I'm not going to ignore it this time around. He was all over the road of that specific part of the circuit. We've got a lap by lap comparison. On lap number 3, Fairclough was quicker. Lap number 4, Fairclough was quicker. Lap number 5, Fairclough was quicker. I think you guys understand. I think you guys get it. Pretty much. The Deegan Fairclough is stuck behind and he needs to get a move on if he wants to try and move up higher up the order. Think you guys get that now. With how fast he is pushing. Race starting to settle down once again due to the 2 set of tyres they have only. It means that there's a lot more going on in terms of them having to think about the long game. We're going to be having a great battle in a moment for 3rd position because you've got Nikita Johnson trying to defend and you are going to see Alex Ninovich with DRS pull around the outside. Can Ninovich make that move? Ninovich can't do it on the way in. Can he do it on the way out? Can he place the car on the outside? He's going to try and make it a drag race down to Cobb's Corner between himself and Nikita Johnson. They both stand on the power. Meanwhile, you've got Pradell just waiting and seeing if there's an opportunity that's directly ahead. We're going to go side by side into Cobb's Corner. Is Ninovich going to try go around the outside? He's almost on the curb. A big moment at high speed. A moment that he had to think better of it. So that's really now Ninovich trying his absolute best to take this final spot on the podium. Noah Lyle is saying thank you very much. Slater's dominating up front. Let me at least secure this 2nd place. At this stage, if you are best of the rest, it is a big accomplishment in this field. Back down the straight we go. Defensive shape being thrown. They're weaving all over the place. Now does Pradel fancy a chance to get ahead of Ninovic? He's out of the slipstream. He's to the inside. And he's taking 4th position with a nice and tidy move. On the way in, on the way out, Ninovic has a chance to contend. Back for the place. He places the car on the outside. He won't be able to get round there. Can we see some of those switchback lines? Fastest lap again by Freddie Slater. Slater goes quicker and quicker and quicker, but Ninovic loses the position and Pradel moves up. He'll be the next one to attack Noah Lyle. Those were the 2 drivers that were battling yesterday for those positions. They're battling once again, but this time it is going to once again be actually Lyle trying to defend from Pradel. That's exactly what took place yesterday. It's going to happen once again on this lap. So, we break the toe once again, everybody. We're back to that phase of the race. They're having a look for a move. I think we could see a move actually further back. And that is going to be late stuff on the brakes. And that is going to be the teammates side by side. And moving up, moving through, is surely going to there be Kanato Lee, who gets past Yamakoshi. I was just trying to identify. The sun is pretty much out today. It's making it hard to identify some of these cars, but I can tell you that Kanato Lee's ahead of Yamakoshi. For how much longer? Yamakoshi wants that place back. Yamakoshi's prepared to risk it to take that place back. Can't do it at this stage, because they've also got to be careful, because in behind they have Regis Hiworthen, who's going to try and make this move side by side into Maggots. He backs out of it. He backs out of it. Didn't want that to be the case. No point risking contact at this stage of the contest. So that was a great battle between the 2 Hillspeed cars. Hillspeed having a great weekend, to be fair. Well, obviously due to Freddie Slater, but compared to some of the other drivers, Yamakoshi and Lee up there at least. Kanato Lee yesterday was missing his nose cone, of course, due to some of the contact that there was in the early laps, in some of the brawling that was going on in the early laps. We look to Freddie Slater at the front. The British driver leading the way as Noah Lyle starting to sprint a little bit clear of Nikita Johnson, so that's quite good for his race. It'll be interesting to see what happens between Johnson and Pradel, whether those 2 start battling hard. They'll hope to be battling hard. So I think we're going to get 3 cars now battling for that 3rd position. You're going to get Johnson trying to defend from Pradel and Ninovic trying to get in there. Lyle, though, perfectly having exactly what he needs to try just pull away. The hill speeds are still close together. You still have Yamakoshi trying to get ahead of Kanato Lee. I think that's the black and white flag, is it? Being shown. Yes, we've got a couple of drivers getting the black and white flag. So we're also getting a message that Bianca Bustamante's transponder's not working. If you just look above the driver tracker, that isn't working. We've got a black and white flag also coming in for Mika Abrams for track limits. Quite a lot going on. I always hate when the race control messages do come on, because what it does is it messes up the bottom bar of having dry and sunny. As you can see, when it pops up, it just ruins the placement of it. So that's always quite annoying, but hopefully that will be. Hopefully we won't see too much of that. But yeah, now we're at the stage of the race where we get constant track limits coming in, and then I'm guessing they're gonna keep now the transponder thing for Bianca Bustamante for a while. But yes, Bianca Bustamante, the McLaren back driver from last year, of course, participating in F1 Academy, of course. The racing here at Silverstone definitely, I think it's fair to say, hasn't been up to standard as what we probably expected coming into this. I thought it was going to be thrilling at all moments, and we come here again once again this year. I don't know if we're actually covering that round, because I feel like there's a big clash when we return here, which is fine, because I've got to cover this one for GB3 at Silverstone. I'm looking forward to race 3, however, because in race 3, it's when we have the reverse grid. It's when you don't have to use those tyres. Remember, after race 3, you don't have to use the tyres. All the drivers will just give full push at the end, and then there's actually a bit of action, rather than tyre saving, which, while it's good for them getting used to it, at this level, right before Formula 3, we had a couple of drivers talking us through that earlier on in the broadcast, in the pre-show. While it is good to some degree, you know, we do want to have flat out good racing, but it's really turning into tyre conservation at this stage. So that's why I'm really excited for race 3. That's late on the brakes. Pradell trying to get past Nikita Johnson. Still those two battle for third and fourth. Ninovic is still in there, just waiting for an opportunity when that opportunity does come. We make our way then onto the Hamilton Straight with these 4 drivers, including Lyle at the front. So it's Johnson, Pradell and Ninovic. They are 3rd, 4th and 5th. Lyle is just a little bit more higher up the road, but the main battle is going on for 3rd, unless these guys close in, which, actually, to be fair, they are really starting to close in. So there could be the chance. We'll take a look at the time. Oh, that's going to be contact! Contact is made! Keanu Al-Zahari makes contact with Dion Goda. They're off the road, and that will surely bring the end to the race there. We'll need the safety car for sure, and it's going to be Dion Goda on the top of Keanu Al-Zahari's car. And, well, we cut to that exactly when it happened. A big moment at high speed, which sees 2 of our contenders fade in the final stages of race 2. Dramatic stuff there. As these guys battle, well, these will be the final moment, surely, of green flag racing. They'll let them race for as long as possible. We'll surely need to get to the safety car, though. And as we're on the penultimate lap, that will surely bring the end to this race. That will be that. That will 100% be that. So these are the final chances. Can Johnson get ahead of Lyle before we get to the safety car? The safety car will soon need to come out because Slater's making his way through. Keanu Al-Zahari giving the thumb up. So is Dion Goda. Here we go. Last chance. Trying to make the move down the inside. So, Johnson having a look. Freddie Slater will soon be arriving to the scene. This could be the last opportunity. This is the last chance. Around the outside, into the braking zone. He would have been told on the radio that the safety car is going to be coming out soon. So surely, he has to make the move. Are they letting this one run? I've not had any message come up that there's going to be a safety car. I think they might be letting this one run. Here we go. Down towards turn number 1. It's going to be a 3-car battle. Ninovic trying to get in the mix as well. It's so tight into the first turn. Johnson is really having to try his best. Lyle is just in front of this. As we arrive to the scene of the incident, they're going to have to slow down. I think they're just letting this one run. No, we get to the safety car. That is not good marshalling, I don't think. Well, race directing, I should say, rather. That is not good. I don't understand that. I really don't understand. They let them arrive at full speed into that incident. If you're going to deploy... I mean, I don't understand that, what they were doing. They did it, so they let them run through at full speed through that part of the incident, and then they safety guard it. Not really a huge... That is really dangerous, considering they were just off the road. I don't understand what on earth that is for. If you weren't going to safety... I mean, if you didn't safety car it then why safety car it at all? I really don't understand what the decision making behind that was. I really don't understand. We should have got to the safety car, absolutely. But we should have got to it before the entire field decided to go full pelt through that part of the incident. Really don't understand that and really don't agree with that. You should never have... When you have an incident like that, you should never have cars running through at full speed. I mean, we were having a big brawl. 3 cars, not separated by anything on the hangar straight. Had that gone a little bit more tasty down through those parts of the corners, it could have been major contact. Let's take a look at a replay then. So it was Goda to the inside, and that's where contact was made, and that's where Goda's car ends up on top of Keanu Alzeri in the Alpine liveried machine, and they both just find themselves off the road as the cars continue to slide. Keanu Alzeri's rear wing gets broken, so a bit of work for the teams to do ahead of the final race, the reverse grid race, coming up later on today. Well, we're on the final tour. It's been also a great performance from Abby Pulling. She's going to be in 7th. Freddie Slater, though, is going to be heading to the race victory once again. Remember the gap, 9.9 seconds, everyone. Do not let that, while it's going to not represent that on the timing board, that is the case. But yeah, really not a fan of that. Absolutely not a fan of that. I think if you were going to safety car it, then you safety car it at the right time. Not when the whole field has gone through, when you actually put the drivers in danger at that moment. Really disagree with the decision behind all of that. You should never have cars fully attacking when a car has gone off, when two cars are off the road a couple of meters into the braking zone. And with GB3, the tyres will be falling away at this stage and everything will be happening. You could easily see a car running wide and hit the stationary cars. You never want to see that, so I don't really agree at all with those decisions made. We should have got to the safety car, but a lot more earlier on. Anyway, though, well, it's not at Fast Freddy's pace, but Freddie Slater making his way through down the final few corners. We're behind the safety car. It's going to be a close finish, but not at racing speed. Freddie Slater is going to make it 2 out of 2, though, in terms of race victories, as he will come across the line at Silverstone to take the checkered flag first. And while on the timing board the gaps won't be anything, it was once again a dominant display from the British driver, and it will be interesting to see how he'll do in the reverse grid race later on from 12th place. Lyle is in 2nd, Johnson finishes in 3rd, and then it's Pradell in 4th, Ninovic in 5th. 2nd to 5th delivered us with so much action. Darianani is ahead of Abby Pulling, who finishes in 7th, and then Husenroder is in 8th, Flusha is in 9th, and Kanato Lee completes our top 10. Great to see that Dion Goda and Keanu Alzaheri both out of the car, both giving us the thumbs up earlier on as well. Wow, though, that is GB3 done and dusted in terms of the second contest of the season. We'll be having and holding another race later on. I mean, this is the great thing. We had one race yesterday, but today we get 2 races for everyone to enjoy. And not only do we get 2 races, it's the reverse grid race, meaning you don't have to think about the tyres after this race. You can use it all now. You can use all of the grip from it. You can go full attack for the entire race. It's reverse grid. Man, can Freddie Slater make it 3 out of 3 from reverse grid position? It's going to be exciting. It's going to be really interesting to see how that one is going to play out. What an incredible race, however, that we have seen over here in GB3. They're just navigating their way through, and we will find ourselves moving through and down onto the podium in a few moments' time. They'll arrive in Parc Ferme. Also, can I just say, while we are seeing in GB4, what is it, 4 consecutive winners? And well, it would be 5 if we include the final round, the final race of last season. It would be 5, but if we're talking about in season, we've had 4. So GB4, while that's so competitive, you're getting 2 out of 2 by Freddie Slater. I mean, we do have the reverse grid later on, but the complete opposite to what's taking place in the GB4 Championship. But still, GB3 delivering us with some great action. I'm happy that there was a little bit more action actually today. Credit where credit's due, I guess, is the way to say it. There was actually some great action, and that's the main thing. There was some phenomenal racing still. So, well, we're getting all set and ready for the post-race of this. They will arrive and make their way down to the 3 positions for first, for second, and for third. But P1 belongs to the man putting a steering wheel, which is required to do in the car, standing on top, pointing to himself in celebration. Freddie Slater has done the job once again, into the hands of his team, of his friends and family as well. You've got celebrations also going on for Noah Lyle. So that goes on at the exact same time. So we're just going to quickly see the entire podium procedure as they all now just take a bit of a break. They'll have to regroup ahead of the race later on. But that will be job done. That will be job brilliantly done by the entire field. And we can now go down and hear from our race winner, Mr. Freddie Slater.
Actually, even better than the first race yesterday.
Yeah, we made a slight improvement overnight, and I think that really paid off. I think we obviously, the wind's slightly different today, so the track's in different conditions. Very dirty out there, offline especially. I think some people dropped some oil in the race before in the Ginetta, so it was quite one line, so it was quite difficult. But no, overall really positive. Unfortunate about the safety car, obviously hopefully everybody's okay. And yeah, overall positive race.
Saw you checking out the other 2 cars there. I mean, after winning a race, the first thing you're thinking about is checking to see what everyone else is doing. Is that a tyre situation maybe?
Yeah, just looking how much people are using their tyres in the racing, seeing what it's like compared to mine, and seeing what happens in race 3, because we know reverse grid, which I'm looking forward to now. So yeah, should be good and see what we've got.
You haven't actually had to do any overtaking yet in the GB3 Championship this year, so you're looking forward to that reverse grid race. What do you think is achievable?
Oh, I think get up as far as possible as I can. You know, anything can happen around here, and especially with the carnage at the front, I think with the reverse grid it's going to be chaos. So lots of overtaking opportunities, I'm sure, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Well, congratulations, 100% record so far this season.
Thank you.
Here we go. Let's move round and we'll speak to Noah Lyle. Congratulations, another podium for you. Did the tyres start to maybe go off a little bit there towards the end?
Yeah, I think the cars behind were fighting mid-race. We started to pull a good gap. I might have even broken DRS, I'm not too sure, but yeah, started struggling on the tyres, and as well we got a track limits warning, so I was just trying to manage everything and bring the car home.
Are you able to maybe give us some insight into the tyres? On commentary they were discussing whether maybe you were using the same tyres as yesterday?
No, definitely not. We changed the set, but I think on this set we took a little bit more out of them in quali. But yeah, no, we'll just put together whatever we've got left now for race 3 and try a clean one.
You must be looking forward to race 3 as well, some good overtaking opportunities.
Yeah, it's always a bit of fun, like coming through the field, so yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Excellent stuff, congratulations, another trophy.
Thanks very much.
There we go, Noah Lyle. Let's go speak to the Nikita Johnson for the first time as we walk past the legend. That is Mark Werrell. Nikita, first podium of the season for you. How did it go out there for you?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm happy with 3rd place. It was a tough race. I had to defend most of it, and then I was also on the offense trying to get 2nd, so it was a bit tricky handling them both because I think we had enough pace for 2nd, but I had to go block and keep 3rd for half the race, so it was pretty tricky. I mean, we'll go look at the video and data and see what I could have done better with that side-by-side racing, but I'm just happy we got good points, and we're just getting in the right direction.
You've jumped into quite a lot of cars this year already, and maybe in the last 12 months, an incredible amount of cars and raced incredibly well. How quickly have you managed to get to grips with this new GB3 car?
I think the first 2 days. It was a little bit different than last year, but it all feels the same, just a little bit more downforce and power.
Excellent stuff. Well, you've certainly got a decent result straight away, and we look forward to seeing you in the reverse grid race.
Thank you.
There we go, Nikita Johnson with High-Tech TGR, and those are the three in the top three. And we'll go over to the podium now before we speak to some of the other drivers who finished that race.
Cheers, Jonas. And yes, indeed. It's really annoying to have someone as good as Freddie Slater and then say, yeah, we found a bit of an improvement in the car last night. It's like, how much faster do you need to go? Well, obviously.
Yeah, it's quite wild, isn't it? It's quite wild. How much faster do you actually want to be, Mr. Freddie Slater? It's quite unbelievable what he's able to put together. We'll keep it on battle screen for you because I've actually taken a picture of our results. I've taken a picture, the exact picture of what our screen looked like, because they've decided to, because of course they've reset it once again. So I knew that was coming, so I decided to do that this time around, so you guys can see the latest from the GB3 Championship. You've got the British GT race happening later on, I think from 12 it is. You've got a GB4 race after this. I'm really excited to see how that goes. I'll be watching that. Make sure you tune into that as well. Definitely worth a watch. And I think it's also great a comparison. I'll talk more to Wes about it later on, but it's a great comparison to also see how they drive it, how the car works in GB4, because they're using GB3's car from last year. So what it means is that we get to see whether this new GB3 car actually is an improvement or not, because they're racing, because GB4 is racing with our car from last year. So it's a nice comparison as well. And if anyone is trying to analyze whether this car is better, whether DRS works and all of that stuff, definitely it's a good benchmark to take a look at as we race around the same circuits 3 times with a reverse grid as well. Now, the stream is having a couple of issues. I believe the Genettas are next up. Yeah, the stream was having a couple of issues, but we still haven't got to the podium. I don't know if that's a me issue or whether that's the actual GB3 stream going off. But anyway, yes, the stream is broken. The stream is broken. Well, I mean, here's the thing. JB Motorsports bringing you proper coverage, everyone. And coverage that actually works. I thought it was a me issue, but no. The actual GB3 stream is broke right now. Thank God it wasn't in the race. And yeah, I can see people in the chat also saying at least it waited till the end of the race. Well, we're the only people who are actually still live. We're gonna keep it on. We're gonna keep it on because I still want to get some of the interviews from the drivers and see what is going on. But yeah, we'll wait to see whether it comes back. But now they get a massive decrease in viewers as the GB3 official stream breaks. But yeah, at least it's happened after the event, not before. So, right, that brings another race of GB3 to a close. Pretty exciting, I think. Pretty action-packed. It was great to watch. It was great to see. Of course, Dion Goda and Keanu Al-Zahari. Hopefully, we see both of them in the running later on. But yes, the official stream breaks, and we now find ourselves waiting to see whether it comes back. It will hopefully come back to us, as we would love to get some entries. There we go. We've got the stream back, and we're running through race highlights, everybody. I think this is what it is. Okay, well, we go right in the middle of the race highlights. But yes, we had a great battle going on between Nikita Johnson, Alex Ninovic, and Gianmarco Pradell, who made a brilliant move at Stowe Corner to take that position. They would continue battling. There was going to be contact then between Dion Goda and Keanu Al-Zahari. They both found themselves out of the contest. And then the race finished behind the safety car. Which saw Freddie Slater make it 2 out of 2 in terms of race victories and take another win here in the GB3 Championship. Let's confirm your official results for you. Freddie Slater ended as the winner. Noah Lyle was in second. Nikita Johnson was in third position. Gianmarco Pradell was in fourth. Ninovic was in fifth. And it was Kai Darianani, Abi Polin, Husenroder, Flusha, and Canasoli with a nose cone this time, getting himself to 10th. The fastest lap went to Freddie Slater once again. So a great performance there we confirmed the rest of the results. In 11th it was Yamakoshi, and then in 12th it was Siworthen. Yunpu Sway was in 13th, Schwarz was in 14th, Fairclough recovered well to 15th, then it was Tan Vanikul, Abrams, Nandan, Bostanjeev, and Jekes finished in 20th place as well for Elite Motorsport. Bianca Bustamante was in 21st, Sherwood was in 22nd, McIntyre was in 23rd, and then we found ourselves with Keanu Al-Zahari in 24th, Dion Goda was in 25th after contact made with Al-Zahari right at the end of our contest. A really great GB3 race, and it's now time to get a bit of the post-race analysis. Let's head over to Piers Pryor.
Kai, because he looked like he was right at the front of that massive battle of cars. You soaked up a lot of pressure in that one, Kai.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't really easy, to be honest, because we had quite poor tyres, to be honest. So yeah, grip was basically none, and so the whole race I was just kind of looking in my mirrors kind of thing. But yeah, I think it was a decent race overall considering everything.
You had a good start, made up a couple of places on that first lap. That was crucial for your race, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good start I think definitely set me up for a decent race, because I knew I wouldn't really be able to attack with the grip that I had. So yeah. You
mentioned not quite as much tyre grip. Is that a bit of cheeky tactics in terms of race number 3?
Just a little, yeah, just a touch.
Okay, I won't go any further with that. I'll leave that to you and your team. I'm going to let you go now, Kai, and get ready for race number 3 later on. I'm going to grab in Gianmarco Pradel, who's kicking around over here. Come this side for me, mate. I've only got short arms. I can't cross over. Gianmarco, how was that race from your perspective?
Yeah, it was decent. I mean, start, again, not optimal, but then after that, just settle into a rhythm, and then towards the end, I was going off like a cut snake, so it was really good.
That's an Australian term there.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, pretty happy with it. Really happy with the pace at the end. So we've got a lot to show in race 3, and hopefully it'll just be onwards and upwards from here.
You and your teammate Alex were pretty much inseparable in race 1 and in race 2. You caught up to the back of Noah in that one. A nice move on your teammate as well to get the road in honours in that one.
Yeah. I mean, decent. It was a move. So yeah, it would have been really good to try to get into that tussle at the end, but unfortunately the safety car cut that short. So yeah, we're going to need to go again in race 3, and yeah, see how it pans out.
Let's have a look into race 3 now. Do you know where you're starting? Do you know what your plan's going to be?
Pretty sure I'm starting 9th, if I'm correct. But yeah, plan's just going to be, get into the race, make sure that I maximise the start, because it looks like the left side of the grid is slightly more grippy than the right side. Then after that, just try to make move on move, and then let's see, maybe we'll get up onto the podium.
We've seen a couple of tasty moves already, and we'll look forward to seeing that in race 3. Thanks very much, Gianmarco. We'll leave you to it, and I'm going to grab Kanato Lee for our final interview. Kanato, quick chat on your race. Good battle with your teammates and other drivers around you.
Yeah, it was good racing. It was tough, but yeah, it was really nice to be able to do some racing and gain some position.
And race 3, what are you looking ahead to?
Yeah, race 3, obviously reverse grid. It's going to be a lot of carnage, I think, but I think just keep it calm and then just overtake and try to finish in, I think like top 5 would be good.
Great to have you back in the championship. Kanata will let you go and cool off after what was a heated race number 2. It's definitely getting warmer out here.
Yeah, it is, and there's a lot of people here, which is very nice to see, and I'm sure you're going to go and find what was going on there and speak to some of the drivers that were involved in that little incident as well. But that was the second race of the weekend, and we've got loads more to look forward to across the weekend here at Silverstone, starting of course with the next GB4 race that's coming up very soon. GB3 race 3, the reverse grid race, is at 3:45. GB4 then of course coming up at 11:11. That's the second race, so that's a full proper grid, and then we have the reverse of GB4 grid at 5:49 PM.
We do indeed. Thank you very much, Jackson, and thank you very much, Mr. Piers Pryor. That is the action that is coming our way for the rest of the weekend. GB4 we won't be streaming, but you can go and watch down the MSV YouTube channel. But of course, join us for the reverse grid race. More action, more chaos, and Mr. Freddie Slater has to do some overtaking. Will he be able to do so? You'll have to join us to find out, to see who's going to take victory in our first reverse grid race of the year. Goodbye.